turn overseas. Let's head to the Middle East. The United Nations nuclear watchdog says Iran has increased its stockpile of uranium enriched to near weapons-grade levels. This is according to a confidential report by the International Atomic Energy Agency. It calls on Tehran to urgently change course and comply with the agency's probe. U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, is here with us. I know you are joining us from Jerusalem, Ambassador. Welcome back.
With you, and happy Saturday to everyone. Or they say here, Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you for that, Ambassador. Let's start with this latest news from Tehran. This report comes at a sensitive time as Tehran and Washington have been holding several rounds of talks over that possible nuclear deal. Can you give me your reaction and what you might tell the president about what's going on here?
Well, the president is well aware of all of the details of not only the negotiation, but what the UN has found. I think it's interesting. The president has made it very clear. Iran is not going to have a nuclear weapon. That is a message that he has consistently stated over and over again. He couldn't say it any more emphatically. So this revelation that the United Nations is making this week is not exactly in keeping with the nation that is seriously sitting down and trying to reverse the course and getting rid of their nuclear capacity that would lead to weaponization.
As all that's happening in Tehran, Hamas leaders are now reviewing a U.S. proposal for a ceasefire with Israel, something our ally has already agreed to, again, where you are in Jerusalem. First, your concerns of this news of Iran maybe impacting Hamas's decision.
Well, I think we all have to recognize that almost everything that goes on in the Middle East that is of a nefarious nature, whether it's Hamas, Hezbollah, or the Houthis, which, by the way, we are regularly dodging missiles from the Houthis almost every other day here. But all of it is essentially delivered from the same kitchen, maybe a different plate, different looking dish, but the kitchen is in Tehran. And that's where they're cooking this stuff. That's where they supply the money for it. It's where they supply a lot of the parts and equipment. So whatever Hamas is doing or not doing, there's also a postmark Iran in that as well.
Ambassador, what more needs to happen to finally get the ceasefire deal over the finish line?
It's all up to Hamas. You know, I've heard nations, and I'm really disgusted with people like France and the great Britain diplomats who are saying, why doesn't Israel just end this? Well, I'll tell you, the same reason that Britain didn't just end World War II by giving in to the Nazis. Can you imagine how dumb it would have been for the Brits to say, yeah, you know, this war has gone on a long time and a lot of people have been killed. So what we're going to do is just let the Nazis stay in Germany and they can go ahead and keep ruling. President Trump has made it crystal clear. Hamas has no future in Gaza. They're not going to be able to govern there. They can't stay there. So as soon as they decide that their future is at best exiled out of Gaza, this can all end. It should have ended October the 8th of 2023. The reason it hasn't, and the reason that so many people have suffered because of it, is not because of Israel, not because of the United States. It singularly falls upon the shoulders of Hamas.
We also heard from the Palestinian ambassador to the UN. He spoke about the lack of food among the children of Gaza during the ongoing war. He was very emotional. Here's a little bit of what he said.
Flames and hunger are devouring Palestinian children. This is why we are so outraged as Palestinians everywhere. We love our children. We love our people. We don't want to see them going through this tragedy and this savage attacks by those who claim the virtues of fighting against barbarism.
Ambassador Huckabee, I've been following your trip. I've been following you, of course, I always follow you, but for the past few months, the U.S. has been saying for the last several weeks that aid is on the way. You've said the same thing as recently as last month. What is the timeline for getting this aid into Gaza?
It's been going in. For the past couple of weeks, there have been massive numbers of trucks. There's distribution centers in 4 different places, over 2.1 million packages of food. Each of those packets lasts a family of 5 for a 10-day period. Those supplies have been coming in. I'll tell you what we also found out, that the food that had been stockpiled that could have been feeding all of these children that the gentleman just was so concerned about, Hamas has hoarded it, kept it in warehouses, and maybe selling it at double the price to their own people.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.